So about 8 pounds, I think. Oh! Oh! Did you see that? Did you see that, mate? Wow!
Are you tired of tripping over things on the floor? Any good professional home organizer would tell you that you're an idiot if you don't maximize your vertical space. Well, that's where these come in. Hey everybody, welcome back to RC with Adam. My name is Adam, and what we're looking at today is something that I think is kind of neat that I wanted to share with you, and I call it the wall wings wall bracket mount thingy. It's 3D printable and awesome. You can print these guys and use them to hold all kinds of things. You could hold shoes, which is a great idea, and they fold flat against the wall when you're done. It's awesome. Not only can you hold shoes, you can hold other kinds of objects as well, like a book. And then you can use the book as a platform to hold things like a Bluetooth speaker, or a plant, or a Kleenex, or a sandwich, or you could hold a drone. All kinds of things. The imagination is your possibilities. Endless. Okay, folks, all kidding aside, I just pretty much told you the whole thing. But right now you can go and get this 3D printable model from RCwithAdam.com and download it yourself, 3D print it if you want to, or you can use the sponsor for this video. This is the sponsored portion. PCBWay is sponsoring this video. Thank you, PCBWay. With PCBWay, they make custom printed circuit boards, but what they also offer that I'm interested in is the rapid prototyping services, which is really cool. And so they offer all kinds of different fabrication methods to include sheet metal bending, CNC machining, injection molding, and 3D printing. Now, of course, I have a 3D printer, so why would I care about that, right? Well, I don't have a resin 3D printer, and that is what I used to print these ones. This is clear. I love this clear resin. It's UTR 8100 resin printed, very high quality. Not the strongest material, as we'll see later, but it turned out super duper great. You may notice, if you have a sharp eye, that this design that I had PCBWay make for me is actually just a little bit of an older design. I ended up updating the design a bit, so it'll be a little bit different from what you see on my website. Mainly that it has, the new one has 3 hinges instead of 2, but that may not make as big of a difference as we would think, as we'll see with the destructive testing in a moment. I also printed another one in aluminum with the metal 3D printing. Now, unfortunately, and I don't want you to make this same mistake I did not factor in the tolerances. So the metal 3D printing, you need to have a little bit bigger tolerances because the parts don't fit in the hinge there. So if I still want to use this bracket, I might just like file it down and make it fit. So if you do order metal 3D printing, you probably need to have a little bit bigger tolerances than you would for traditional 3D printing, or especially resin 3D printing, because those you can have some pretty tight tolerances. But really good quality otherwise. Pretty cool that it's aluminum, right? 3D printing in metal, how cool is that? Like, I don't have a metal 3D printer, so it's kind of neat that I'd be able to get that done. In case you're wondering how difficult or easy it is to doesn't even make sense. And in case you're wondering how difficult it is to, actually send your design to PCBWay and have them make it for you, it's actually not difficult. It's super easy. You go to PCBWay.com, you go under their rapid prototyping section, and then you decide what method you want to use, and then you just upload your design, and as long as it's a design file that can be used, for that. So with 3D printing, STL files are great, or you can do 3MF, or you can do step files, something like that. And then you just go through the options, the quantity, the material, the finishes, and then any other little details. Fill all that stuff out, and then they'll get back to you with a estimate. And then once they actually look at your order, they'll get back to you with an email and say, hey, this is how much it costs with the actual price, and then do you want to go through with it from there. And the prices are really very reasonable for small one-off orders, which usually would cost a lot if you were going through like traditional manufacturing methods. If that's interesting to you, check the link in the description down below and go check them out and say RC with Adam sent me. And of course, if you want to 3D print this yourself, go to RCwithAdam.com and you'll be able to find it under my 3D printing section there. And all you're going to find are two actual models. You're going to have the wing arm, and you're going to have the actual hinge piece. And so basically, when you actually go to print this, you're just going to duplicate the wing arm, and then you're going to have one hinge piece. So you'll have two arms per hinge piece. And what I would suggest is you take the basically print the wings as you want to see them on the wall, just keeping in mind that you're going to have a different surface finish, whether it's printed on, whether you have the bottom side of the print facing out versus the top side of the print. So for me, aesthetically, it would be best if they matched. So just keep that in mind. I would do multiple layer lines, like probably, I think like 6 or so, 5 or 6, enough so that you have most of the wing that is filled in with just layer lines. You don't really want space in the arm part of the wing. And this right here, what we're looking at, is 3D printed with Bamboo Lab carbon fiber PLA, so it is more rigid than traditional PLA, and that is a good thing. And once you have a piece printed, as far as the assembly goes, it's quite simple. You're going to have your hinge piece and your arm, and you're going to wiggle the hinge together. What can help is if you get a little bit of lubricant, maybe like some kind of silicone lubricant or something, and then you're going to take a strand of filament, just regular spaghetti noodle type filament, and this is made for 1.75 millimeter, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of lubricant on the filament so that I can slide it into the hinge portion more easily, like so. Let's see. Let's talk about the design a little bit. This was an interesting one, design-wise. I spent a lot, way too much time designing this, actually. But that's just how it goes sometimes. That's kind of how I roll. So this is a very, very early prototype design right here. It looks pretty funny, but we have this kind of wings with the feathers and kind of the shield in the middle, this kind of emblem here. There's no hinge or anything. I just kind of did this to test out kind of how that would look. It looks kind of weird. It looks very old school. It also kind of looks like a mustache, actually, now that I think about it. So that's kind of cool, actually, a mustache. Actually, wait, that's a genius idea. A mustache wall bracket. Okay, I'll have to write that one down. But I didn't really like this one. It just didn't have the right look for me. It wasn't really doing it for me. I had some other versions. I don't know if I have those printed, but I have some different versions here of some potential options here. So I think this one's pretty much the same as the finished one, but it is a little bit smaller. This particular TPU is a little bit more flexible TPU. I'm sorry, PLA. This PLA is a little bit more flexible PLA, so you can see where it's flexing because of the wings right there, or the feathers in the wings. So that's kind of not a great thing that it flexes like that, but design-wise, like, it's kind of cool because really the points where the bracket is holding things up, if we have something flat against here, it's going to be this little nub right here, and then the end of it right there. And so the end is actually kind of pulling along from here, so we're not really pushing down into this section on the wing. So anyway, and then I did like a giant one just to see how that would be. Speaking of the scale of this, unfortunately you cannot super easily scale it up or down because the hinges have to be the right size and they have to fit the 1.75 millimeter hole. Not a super difficult thing to overcome, but I didn't make it like parametric or anything. So right now you would just have to scale it up and then change the hole size for the filament hinge. Size-wise, speaking of sizes, dimensions, looking at this, laid flat out, we're looking at just about 10.25 inches, or about 260 millimeters. And then each, let's see, from the hinge, so like from the hinge on the wall to the end, we're looking at, I don't know, right about 125 millimeters, or right about 4 7/8 inches in length there. So I think a decent size, decent size, kind of mid-range size there. Originally, the design idea for this came from having a bracket to hold shoes. And then it got out of hand, and then I was like, well, what? Then it could like fold up against the wall, and I was like, well, what if it like looked cool? What if it was like wings or something like on a wall? Like that would be neat, right? And so then I went crazy and spent a bunch of time designing this, and actually the shoes are still sitting on the floor, but that's how it goes. I did have fun designing this though, so that's cool, and I learned a lot too because I was using Onshape. It can be kind of tricky when you're trying to turn like an SVG into a 3D model, but I was able to do it, and I think it worked out decently well. And then the design of this, as far as like kind of this little hook shape here, or this little, I don't know what you call it, but it's essentially like a little hook. So it works well. You can hang bags or something, or I guess a jacket, or well, something like that, right on this kind of hook portion, and it keeps them from like sliding off, and it's closer to the wall, so you're gonna have it should be stronger. Basically the bracket will be stronger closer to the wall as opposed to farther away due to the laws of physics and whatnot. And then we have 2 screw holes here. Mostly you just need 1 screw hole in the top, and then the bottom one is really kind of just to keep it from rotating, if in case it's not balanced, that sort of thing. So that's, and then you're looking at B-roll of this, I suppose. Oh yeah, and then another design that I did here. This one is quite a bit fatter, but this was the idea of just kind of using like a top and bottom filament, a filament hinge, but then having the arms be on the top and the bottom. That could work pretty well, but I was concerned that there might be too much shear factor on just these 2 points for the filament. So then I kind of increased it to this other design. And so you see we do have the hinge part that's attached to the wall. It does have material basically over the top and under the bottom of the arm to hopefully help keep that in place. But then ultimately I went with the 3 hinge design right there, or the 3-point hinge like that. So let's talk about design things and ways that this could potentially be better for like a new version. So for one thing, making it parametric so it'd be easy to scale up or down, that would be great. I would say these holes are okay, but they probably need to have more of a chamfer on there, because if you put a screw that's like kind of large-ish, or kind of normal size, this is like a normal size drywall screw. If you put it in there, it really sticks out a lot, which I don't like. It sticks out quite a bit. And then what could be a problem is when you fold this, you run into the screw head right there, like so. So I don't like that, and that's a problem, because then you can't fold this so that they're like sticking straight out like that, which would be probably the most ideal way to hold like bags, or like grocery bags or something, to hook it on there, or whatever, a purse, a strap, something like that. So, but you can do it just fold it out against the wall, and that works well too. So that's a potential problem, or potential improvement there. So we did some destructive testing here. Each one we did tested 2 different versions. I tested the UTR 8100, and I tested the Bamboo Lab carbon fiber PLA. Both of these have a 3D fuel hinge, filament hinge. I think the UTR 8100 probably has PCTG as the filament, and then for the hinge, and then the carbon fiber version has Pro PLA Plus, Tough Pro PLA Plus, for the hinge pin on here. So these ones broke in different ways. It was very interesting. So what I found is UTR 8100 is, and I kind of knew this, is not a super great structural material. It is very good looking. It's clear, very clear, and it is fairly rigid Well, it really depends. I mean, so what's interesting is that this flexes essentially because of how it's built, how the wing is built, but it is a very rigid material. So typically it will snap and not bend so much. So it'll basically be very strong until a certain point. So you can see right here, this is how this one broke. So right in this little kind of divot spot, which I think is interesting. I was thinking it was going to break at the hinge. I was quite sure that it was, but no, it broke right there on this other side, and they broke at separate times. See, a very similar thing happened as well. I have to put my hand here so you can actually see it, huh? Yeah. So it also broke in this spot right here. You can kind of see we have a little bit of discoloration, or kind of some crazing, I guess you could call it, like stress marks on this top hinge. But otherwise, it was actually just the arm that broke for the UTR 8100. Now, moving on to the second test subject. This was, again, the carbon fiber PLA and the 3D Fuel filament hinge pin, Tough Pro PLA Plus. And this one broke in a very different way. This was very interesting. So this one, I loaded the right side with, like, I don't even know, over 10 pounds, I think. A lot of weight. And the way that this one broke is it was actually at the hinge. So the actual arm is great. Like, it's totally strong. It did not break like where the UTR 8100 broke, but the top hinge did shear along the layer lines, because this is printed flat, and so it's kind of stacked up, and so that's not super great for strength, I realize now, but we were overloading it. So the top hinge actually separated along the layer lines. Very, very interesting. And then, or I'm not sure which happened first exactly, but we can also see that the bottom, what would this be? The bottom portion of the hinge broke off, and we still have actually some filament inside here that got sheared as far as the filament pin. Also, we have layer separation on the hinge itself. So a lot of layer separation going on. So what that kind of tells me is that's the weakest link for this particular filament. I would imagine something like PCTG would have much better filament adhesion, or layer adhesion. It's supposed to be, I think they call it isometric, something like that. It's supposed to be that the layer adhesion is just as good as, just as strong as other dimensions. So that was pretty cool. So this, it failed like that, but it just goes to show anyway that the actual arm itself, even though it has a bunch of holes in there, it's still plenty strong if you print it right. So it'll absolutely hold small stuff for sure. It'll hold your drone. It'll hold your purse. It'll hold your your machete. It'll hold your lightsaber. It'll hold your poodle. Probably hold a poodle. I'm not sure. Probably don't try it. Don't try it. But it'll hold what you need most likely. If you use this, let me know. Send me a picture on Instagram or Facebook maybe, or just email it to me, or send it to me in a letter or something like that. That would be pretty cool. And if you do make some changes to this design, let me know, and maybe we can integrate that into version 2. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate your time. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Get out there, build something, fly something. Create something, keep on learning, keep creating, keep flying, and I will see you again very soon.
Did you see that, mate? Wow!